Welcome to the deep dive. You send us your sources, and we extract the crucial insights to get you up to speed quickly.
Yep, that's the goal.
Today, we're diving into excerpts from Shakti Gawain's Living in the Light, specifically the revised 1998 edition.
Right, and it's interesting, the original was 86.
Exactly. And in this later version, Gawain reflects on her earlier work with a perspective she calls older and wiser.
Yeah, and she also mentions a somewhat humbler approach compared to her youthful enthusiasm in the first book.
Right. So our mission here is really to get a handle on Gawain's core ideas about personal and even planetary transformation as she presents them here.
It's fascinating, isn't it? Seeing an author revisit their own foundational stuff after, what, 12 years?
Yeah, really.
And for you, the listener, it immediately signals these ideas aren't static. Gawain herself kept learning, evolving.
Good point.
So this revision, it gives you a chance to see these principles through a more, well, mature lens, informed by real life and reflection.
Absolutely. And when you look at her personal journey before writing Living in the Light, it's quite something.
It really is.
She grew up in a very intellectual, atheist family.
Yeah.
Religious beliefs were just dismissed as, quote, human fabrication.
Right.
And while she liked the lack of rigid dogma, she also felt, well, an absence, a lack of a conscious spiritual dimension.
Makes you think how our early environments shape what we look for later, doesn't it?
Totally.
For you, this part of her story highlights how maybe focusing only on the rational doesn't always satisfy those deeper human longings.
Yeah.
Even without formal religion, there can be this yearning for meaning, for connection beyond just logic. Her upbringing, maybe it felt complete then, but it eventually created space for her to explore other ways of seeing the world, something you might find in your own life too.
Exactly. She also talks about her family-loving parents, but they divorced when she was only 2.
Ah,
And she felt that really impacted her later relationships.
sure, that makes sense.
But on the flip side, her mother was a real adventurer. She calls her a role model of fearlessness.
Wow, that sounds like a powerful influence.
Definitely. And despite the atheism, there was this Quaker background somewhere in the family.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and it instilled a profound respect for spirit and concern for humanity through their plain language.
So it's a complex mix, isn't it, like most families?
Right. Atheism, divorce, fearlessness, Quaker values. A lot going on.
This complexity really just underscores how we're shaped by so many factors, often ones that seem contradictory.
Yeah.
For you, it's a reminder that even within one type of upbringing, you get these diverse elements shaping you. The divorce versus the adventurous mom. It might resonate with your own experiences of navigating challenges and inspirations.
Then, bam, she hits this major emotional crisis at 14.
Teenage years, tough time.
Totally. A
Snap.
real moment of feeling like life, school, everything was just
Yeah.
ephemeral, meaningless, and empty. She was deeply disillusioned for years.
That kind of existential questioning. I bet many listeners can relate to that, especially during those formative years.
I think so.
That kind of deep questioning often acts as a catalyst, right, for seeking deeper meaning. When the usual answers don't cut it, it can open you up to exploring new perspectives, searching inward for purpose. Gawain's experience shows how disillusionment can actually be, well, fertile ground for major growth.
And explore as she did. She turned towards Eastern philosophy, Buddhism, Hinduism, yoga, meditation.
Right, a common path for seekers then.
Then she took this 2-year journey around the world, time in India, very little money, no fixed plans.
Wow, that takes guts.
And she said that was where she really learned to trust her intuition.
Ah, that's key. For you, this highlights how sometimes stepping way outside your comfort zone, relying on your inner resources, can be a powerful way to discover that inner knowing.
Yeah.
What's really insightful for you here is how she connects that external vulnerability being broke in a foreign land with developing her internal strength, her intuition.
Good point.
It suggests that when those external supports fall away, you often find this deeper self-reliance, this inner guidance that maybe you hadn't tapped into before.
So when she came back, consciousness became her main focus. She made this conscious choice. Prioritize personal growth over external achievements, believing that the things she really wanted, love, meaningful work, abundance, would naturally follow from that inner work.
And for you, that's a key principle right there. Inner work can actually pave the way for outer fulfillment.
Exactly.
It reflects this fundamental idea in a lot of personal growth stuff Your inner state really sets the stage for your outer experiences.
Right.
By focusing on your own development, aligning with what truly matters to you, you might find the external things you want to show up more organically.
So she moves to the San Francisco Bay Area, dives headfirst into the human potential movement.
Right, that was a big scene then.
Workshops, reading books like Ken Key's Handbook to Higher Consciousness,
Right.
living communally. It sounds intense.
Yeah, for you, understanding that movement is helpful context. It was all about unlocking potential through self-awareness, personal responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Her being so involved gave her tools and a community of people exploring the same ideas, something you might find valuable too, finding your people on your own journey.
From all this, the idea that you can become more aware,
Yeah.
see choices beyond your usual habits, that became really clear to her.
The power of awareness.
Yeah. And she realized her initial, maybe simplistic idea of enlightenment evolved into something way more nuanced.
It's rarely a straight line, is it, to understanding?
At all.
Often our first grasp of big concepts is pretty basic. For you, Gawain's evolving view reminds us that growth is ongoing, with twists and turns, not some fixed destination you just arrive at.
She then shares her fascination with the Hindu trinity Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva.
Creator, preserver, destroyer.
Right. And she was particularly drawn to Shiva as Nataraj, the lord of the dance.
Ah, the cosmic dance.
Symbolizing constant change, the need to let go. That's such a powerful image of life's dynamic nature.
That symbolism of Shiva Nataraj, it offers you a really valuable perspective on change.
How so?
Well, instead of seeing transitions as something to resist, this image encourages you to see them as just part of the dance, right? A continuous cycle of creation and letting go that you can embrace in your own life too.
That makes sense. And Shakti, she explains, is the feminine aspect of Shiva, meaning energy or life force.
Connected to female energy, Tantra.
Yeah. And it's interesting, her friend Mark Allen actually gave her that name, Shakti. Recognized that energy in her.
For you, taking that name Shakti signifies embracing a certain kind of power dynamic, life-affirming energy. It shows how others might see qualities in you that you're also starting to embody.
She then talks about early experiences with the Silva mind control course. Her mother recommended it.
Ah, Silva method, yeah. Popular back then.
Focusing on that technique of imagining desired outcomes. Seems like an early intro to the mind's power to shape reality.
Totally. Silva basically taught people to use their mental focus. For you, Gawain's early exposure shows how the idea of consciously influencing your life with your thoughts was planted early on. It would later blossom into her work on creative visualization.
Learning and practicing creative visualization became, as she puts it, amazingly effective for her. And Jane Roberts' book, The Nature of Personal Reality, really solidified her understanding of how you create your own reality. Foundational stuff for her first book, right?
Absolutely. Roberts' work was huge in popularizing the idea that your beliefs, your expectations, actively shape your experiences.
Yeah.
Gawain engaging deeply with that, plus her own success with visualization, that really formed the bedrock of her initial teachings, offering you a powerful tool for consciously shaping your life.
So she was leading workshops doing private counseling, and that eventually led to writing creative visualization.
Right?
She thought it'd be a small booklet, but she felt it grew into a published book from a higher creative source, she called it.
That speaks to inspiration beyond just grinding it out, doesn't it?
It really does.
For you, that experience of a creative project taking on its own life can be really inspiring. It suggests when you tap into your passions, let creativity flow, you might be surprised by the outcome, like a larger force is guiding things.
The realization that using creative visualization meant she could choose to create her life, shifting out of a victim position.
Yeah.
That was huge for her.
Oh, absolutely massive.
That sense of agency, that you're not just at the mercy of fate, it's so crucial for empowerment.
Exactly. That shift from feeling acted upon to being the active creator of your life is pivotal. For you, Gawain's experience underscores the liberating power of recognizing your own ability to influence reality through conscious thought, through intention.
She also shares the fears and doubts she had writing her second book, Living in the Light, especially after creative visualization was such a hit.
The dreaded second album syndrome, right?
Totally. And how it eventually found its audience through word of mouth. It reminds you that even after success, new challenges, new insecurities pop up.
Gawain being vulnerable about her anxieties following up a bestseller is really relatable. For you, it's a reminder that the creative process, really any significant undertaking, can come with self-doubt. Perseverance is often key.
Eventually, though, she found herself hitting a wall workaholism, a growing sense of imbalance.
Ah, the burnout phase.
Yeah. She wanted more personal time, but really struggled to say no to opportunities.
I bet many listeners can relate to that feeling being pulled in too many directions.
It's such a common pitfall for driven people. For you, it highlights the importance of setting healthy boundaries, consciously prioritizing your well-being alongside your ambitions. It's a reminder that true fulfillment comes from balance, not just endless doing.
She also longed for a life partner, even visualized him.
Hmm.
But she recognized her own deep conflict, ambivalence about commitment, stemming from her parents' divorce, those old family patterns.
It's a powerful example of how your past influences your present desires and challenges, even when you're consciously trying to create something new.
For you, Gawain's insight here is crucial. Your external desires are often tangled up with your internal emotional landscape, your past experiences.
Yeah.
Recognizing those connections can help you understand and work through any inner blocks that might be stopping you from getting what you truly want in relationships.
Committing to emotional healing therapy and the influence of Doctors Hal and Sidra Stone and their psychology of selves, voice dialogue. That was a turning point.
The Stones' work, yeah, very influential.
It helped her understand the different selves inside her, bring them into more balance. Sounds like a really insightful approach to inner work.
The psychology of selves, it offers you a valuable framework for understanding the different facets of your own personality. By recognizing and acknowledging these various selves and their needs, you can move towards greater inner harmony, make more conscious choices instead of being driven by unconscious patterns.
Feeling a major shift, greater comfort with all parts of herself, that led to this knowingness that she was ready for a committed partnership.
Ah, that inner knowing.
Even though she was still hesitant about the word marriage. It sounds like a genuine inner transformation that unfolded naturally.
That knowingness that comes from deep inner work is often way more reliable than just intellectual conviction, right?
Yeah, definitely.
For you, Gawain's experience highlights the importance of honoring your own inner timing, letting things unfold organically rather than trying to force them.
Okay, so all of this background brings us to part one of the book, the principles.
Right, the foundational ideas.
She kicks it off with this big idea. We're living in a really exciting time of radical transformation deep down at the consciousness level, which challenges all of us to create a new way of life as the old world, as she calls it, basically dies away. Pretty dramatic framing.
It is, but for you, this reflects a perspective that sees big societal shifts not just as chaos, but as opportunities for fundamental changes in how we think and live. The idea of an old world giving way to a new suggests potential for real progress, evolution in consciousness.
She describes the old world as being overly focused on the external, trying to find happiness through stuff, material things.
Yeah, chasing the shiny objects.
Yeah, because of a loss of spiritual connection. I'm sure that resonates with a lot of the critiques we hear today.
For you, this highlights a common observation, that relentless pursuit of external validation, material wealth, often stems from an inner emptiness.
Right.
Gawain suggests true, lasting fulfillment comes from reconnecting with that deeper spiritual dimension inside yourself.
The new world, she says, is being built by each of us, opening to that higher power within, consciously letting creative energy flow through us.
Starts individually.
Yeah, it starts with individuals, but then it affects mass consciousness, a real ground-up approach to change.
This perspective offers you a sense of empowerment, doesn't it?
It does.
It suggests the changes you make inside yourself, however small they seem, can actually contribute to a larger shift in collective awareness. Your individual journey has ripples.
She acknowledges that these difficult times might feel like things are just falling apart.
And they often do feel that way.
But on a deeper level, it's a necessary process of letting go of old ways that don't serve us anymore.
So for you, this reframes challenges. They're not just negative events, but potentially necessary steps in a bigger transformation process.
Right.
Seeing tough times as part of a larger cycle of letting go and renewal can help you navigate them with more resilience, more understanding. It's the idea that sometimes things need to break down before something new and better can emerge in your life and in the world.
The concept of a higher power within us, that creative energy of the universe,
Yeah.
and the miraculous changes that can happen when you trust it, live by universal principles.
Yeah.
That's really central to her message here.
It speaks to a fundamental belief in an inherent wisdom, a power residing within you and the universe itself. For you, Gawain's message encourages trust in this inner guidance and the potential for positive change that comes from aligning with these principles.
She encourages you, the listener, find your own inner spiritual connection. Emphasizing it's unique for everyone might take time, but it will happen if you truly desire it.
Right. It's very inclusive, hopeful, reminds you your spiritual path is your own.
Yeah.
Exactly. Gawain's focus on a personal, unique experience of the spiritual is important for you. It moves away from rigid doctrines towards an inner knowing that resonates with your journey.
Right.
And that message of patience, persistence, it's key. This kind of connection often unfolds gradually.
Gawain sees the universe as having both personal and impersonal aspects, and she shares her own experience of sensing this guiding, loving presence that can actually fulfill various needs.
For you, this adds a really comforting dimension to the idea of a higher power, a sense of personal connection, support available to you.
It does.
The idea of a personal relationship with the universe or a higher power can be a real source of comfort, of guidance. It turns an abstract concept into a felt sense of connection you can draw on.
She also highlights the power of connecting with the universe, especially in nature.
Ah, yes, nature.
So that it can fill those feelings of emptiness with spirit energy, provide guidance.
For you, this suggests spending time in the natural world can be a powerful way to reconnect with yourself, tap into a deeper source of wisdom.
Makes sense.
The natural world's long been seen as a powerful catalyst for spiritual connection. Being in nature can quiet your mind, allow for a deeper sense of communion with the larger forces of life, offering you both solace and clarity.
Okay, so moving on to intuition. Gawain presents it as a really key aspect of acknowledging this higher power within you.
It's all about learning to trust that inner knowing, that gut feeling.
Right.
Intuition, often described as that direct knowing beyond rational thought, is a vital source of wisdom available to you. Reconnecting with it, learning to trust it. That's a really important part of growth.
She contrasts this with what she calls the old world's tendency to worship the rational mind, dismiss intuition,
Yeah.
even while acknowledging instinct in animals as something beyond rational capacity. Kind of a double standard, isn't it?
It is. For you, Gawain points out a potential imbalance in Western thought, where reason often gets elevated above other ways of knowing. Recognizing the validity of intuition, just like we recognize instinct in animals, can offer you a more complete way of understanding and navigating the world.
She argues that established religions, even some psychological approaches, have often inadvertently supported a fear of the non-rational, intuitive self.
Trying to control our instinctual nature.
Yeah, that's a pretty strong critique of some traditional structures.
Gawain's perspective suggests that some systems, seeking order and control, might have accidentally created fear or distrust around our natural intuitive abilities, our emotional wisdom.
Okay.
For you, this encourages questioning any pressures, internal or external, that might be leading you to suppress these valuable parts of yourself.
She points out the denial of emotions, instinctual energies, our natural intuitive sense that can happen when we over-focus on the rational.
It sounds like a call for a more balanced, holistic view of human intelligence, one that values both logic and intuition.
Precisely. For you, Gawain's advocating for an integrated approach, recognizing the intelligence of your emotions, your instincts, your intuition, alongside your rational mind. Each gives you valuable info, contributes to a fuller understanding.
Interestingly, she notes that societies less technologically developed often approach life with a deep awareness, respect for intuition.
Citing Native American, African cultures as examples of this connection to spirit.
Makes you wonder what we might have lost or overlooked in our rush for technology, doesn't it?
It does.
For you, this highlights the wisdom in many indigenous cultures, where intuition, connection to spirit, are often deeply integrated into daily life, decision-making. It invites you to consider the value of reconnecting with those perhaps less developed aspects of your own awareness.
Gawain suggests that as our rational capacity evolved, humans grew more fearful of these other aspects, intuitive, emotional.
And try to control them with rigid rules.
Yeah, the idea of fear driving control is pretty powerful.
For you, this suggests many rules and structures we create, internal and external, might stem from an underlying fear of the unknown, the unpredictable parts of human nature. Recognizing this can help you examine which rules really serve you and which might be limiting your access to intuition, spontaneity.
She then defines channeling, but not in the way we often think of it. No trance channeling.
Right, not like that.
Instead, she sees it as being deeply in touch with, bringing through the wisdom and creativity from your own deepest source. Being being fully yourself as a vehicle for universal creativity.
It's a really empowering redefinition, isn't it?
Totally.
Absolutely. For you, this definition reframes channeling not as some weird practice for a few, but as an inherent human capacity. It's about being authentic, letting your unique gifts flow through you when you're truly yourself, connected to something larger.
She believes every creative genius, every great work of art was created through this kind of channeling.
Arising from a deep well of universal inspiration.
It really elevates creativity beyond just individual talent, doesn't it?
It does. For you, this perspective suggests great creativity isn't just your individual effort, but your ability to tap into a larger field of potential,
Mm.
inspiration. You become the instrument for universal creativity to manifest.
And she goes even further, saying we are all geniuses in our own unique way.
Wow.
And this genius is discovered by simply being ourselves, allowing our natural channel to open through trusting and acting on intuition. That's a really encouraging thought for everyone listening.
It is. For you, this idea that genius is inherent in everyone, not just a select few, is incredibly empowering. It suggests your unique gifts, your talents, will emerge as you embrace your individuality, learn to trust your own inner guidance.
She uses this really helpful image of a channel as a long, round pipe with energy flowing through it. Points out three important things. It needs to be open, unobstructed inside. It needs a definite physical form for direction. And it needs a power source moving the energy. Very clear analogy.
This analogy gives you a really practical way to think about your own ability to channel the open pipe. That's needing a clear inner state, free from blocks like fear or doubt.
Right.
The physical form gives focus, direction to your energy, and the power source is that universal life force, always available to you.
Gawain suggests that having a strong, healthy body and personality comes from trusting your intuition about what's right for you.
Not just blindly following external rules about diet, exercise, etc.
Right. It's about finding what truly resonates with your individual needs, your inner wisdom.
For you, this emphasizes bio-individuality, listening to your own body's wisdom instead of just sticking to generic external rules. What nourishes one person might not nourish another. True well-being comes from tuning into your own inner signals.
She then shares this really compelling story about her editor, Becky, as an example of trusting intuition. Becky felt this strong inner pull to leave her secure job, go into publishing, even though her husband wasn't supportive.
Ooh, tough situation.
Yeah, led to separation, Becky moving to Northern California with no job, no money. Sounds incredibly risky.
Becky's story is a powerful illustration for you of the courage it can take to follow intuition, especially when it goes against conventional wisdom, external pressures. It highlights the potential for huge life changes when you have faith to act on that inner knowing, even when the path ahead is totally unclear.
Despite initial setbacks in publishing, Becky found work in another field, regained her confidence,
Defer.
and then finally landed an entry-level job at the company she really wanted, New World Library, where she eventually became editorial director.
Wow, amazing story. It's a great example of perseverance and how trusting that initial intuitive nudge can lead you where you're meant to be.
Yeah.
Becky's journey shows you that following intuition doesn't always mean immediate success the way you expect, but it often leads to experiences that build resilience, clarify your path, and ultimately guide you towards your true calling, even if it takes some unexpected turns.
Gawain points out that as you strengthen your commitment to trusting yourself, your intuition, you might find everything in your life starts changing.
Yeah, big shifts can happen.
You might need to let go of old attachments, even relationships that just kind of fizzle out.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that growth often means shedding what no longer serves you, even if it's uncomfortable.
For you, this highlights that embracing self-trust can be a catalyst for major transformation in all areas of your life.
Right.
Letting go of what doesn't align with your authentic self, while challenging, creates space for new, more fulfilling experiences and relationships.
She explains channeling works in two main ways. Energy flows through you, out to others,
Giving,
and energy flows from others back to you.
receiving.
She uses writing books as an example.
Yeah.
You put energy out, then you receive appreciation, feedback in return.
Yeah.
A beautiful cycle.
This cyclical nature of energy flow is important for you to understand. When you express your creativity, share your gifts, you not only impact others, but you also open yourself to receiving positive energy, support, appreciation back, creates a continuous loop of exchange.
As you become more aware of this flow, Gawain says, your body actually becomes capable of channeling more energy.
Expanding capacity.
Yeah, the more you're open to receive, the more you then have to give. It's about expanding your capacity for both.
For you, this suggests your ability to experience and express life fully expands as you become more conscious of the energy constantly moving through and around you. By becoming more receptive, you actually increase your capacity to be a force of positive energy in the world.
Okay, moving on to the idea of polarity.
Ah, the opposites.
Gawain discusses developing and integrating both sides of every energy within us to achieve wholeness, balance.
Moving beyond rigid either-or thinking. Good, bad, right, wrong. Embracing complexity. The concept of polarity offers you a more nuanced way to understand yourself and the world. Recognizing and integrating seemingly opposite energies inside you allows for greater inner harmony, moving away from limited black and white thinking.
She argues that these disowned parts of ourselves, the ones we push away, deny,
Our shadow side.
actually carry essential energy we often desperately need for healing and balance. Fearing our shadow side prevents access to these vital energies.
For you, this is a powerful insight. It suggests the parts of yourself you might judge or suppress actually hold valuable resources, qualities essential for your wholeness. Embracing your shadow rather than fearing it can lead to greater self-acceptance, inner strength.
She gives a relatable example.
Yeah.
Someone strongly identified with being powerful.
Often has a disowned, vulnerable side.
Exactly. And what's interesting, they might find themselves attracting and then judging outwardly vulnerable people.
As a way of further suppressing that part of themselves, it's a fascinating dynamic of projection, isn't it?
It really is.
For you, this example illustrates how your disowned qualities can play out in your relationships, your judgments of others. By noticing what you tend to criticize in others, you might get valuable clues about aspects of yourself you haven't fully accepted or integrated.
Gawain then introduces this really profound idea. The physical world around you is actually your own creation,
Wow. Okay.
and it serves as a mirror, reflecting your inner state, giving you constant feedback about yourself. Your outer world reflecting your inner one.
This principle of the world as a mirror, it offers you a powerful lens for self-understanding, suggests a deep connection between your inner consciousness beliefs, attitudes, emotions, and your external experiences. By paying attention to your life, you gain valuable insights into yourself.
She describes the external world as this giant mirror, reflecting your consciousness clearly, accurately.
Becomes a useful tool for self-awareness, she says, once you learn how to perceive, interpret these reflections.
Like learning to read the signs of your inner landscape through what's happening around you.
Exactly. For you, learning to see the world as a reflection requires a shift in perspective. Instead of feeling like a passive recipient of life's events, you start recognizing your active role in creating, attracting your experiences. It's an invitation to deeper self-inquiry, personal responsibility.
Understanding that your life, people, events reflects your beliefs, attitudes, emotional patterns that can teach you about hidden aspects of yourself you might not even be aware of.
A continuous process of learning, uncovering.
Yeah.
Your external reality serves as this constant feedback loop, offering opportunities to become aware of unconscious pattern beliefs shaping your life. By paying attention to these reflections, you gain valuable insights into areas where you might need to grow or heal.
Gawain lays out two key premises for using this mirror idea.
Okay.
First, everything in your life is your reflection, created or attracted by your soul to show you something. All people are reflections of inner characters, energies.
Right. Total responsibility in a way.
And second, she stresses, avoid putting yourself down for these reflections. See everything as a gift for self-awareness. Approach the learning with compassion, even fun. It's a really self-compassionate way to look at it.
These two premises give you a really helpful framework for working with the mirror principle. The first encourages ownership of your experiences. The second promotes a non-judgmental, growth-oriented mindset. Fosters self-compassion, makes the journey less about blame, more about understanding.
She gives a great example. Constantly wanting both closeness and independence in relationships. The world's mirroring the need to honor both those energies within yourself first, to create balanced relationships, finding internal harmony first.
This example beautifully illustrates how understanding and integrating your own inner polarities can lead to more fulfilling, balanced relationships. When you acknowledge and honor all aspects of yourself, you're better able to navigate the complexities of connecting with others.
Gawain also points out the positive feedback from the mirror. Everything you like, enjoy, people you love and admire. These reflect aspects of you. People or animals who love you. reflects how you love yourself. Beautiful surroundings mirror your own inner beauty, a nice way to see the good in your life.
Recognizing these positive reflections reinforces self-esteem, helps you appreciate your own positive qualities. It's a reminder you tend to attract what you resonate with, so the good you see around you often reflects the good within you.
She emphasizes the deeper your connection with someone, the stronger the mirror they become.
Makes sense.
And when you see a reflection, positive or negative, it's so important to go back inside yourself to discover its meaning. Without rationalizing or blaming the other person, it's all about honest self-inquiry.
Your closest relationships often provide the most profound reflections, positive and challenging. The key is approaching these reflections with curiosity, willingness to learn about yourself rather than getting defensive or finding fault with the other person.
She also gives examples of those challenging negative reflections, but reminds us they still offer incredible opportunities for self-awareness.
Right.
A critical boss might reflect your own inner critic.
Or a partner neglecting you might mirror your own neglect of your needs.
Exactly. Even difficult situations hold valuable lessons if you're willing to look.
Even difficult experiences, challenging relationships can serve as powerful catalysts for self-awareness, growth. By honestly examining the reflections they offer, you can identify areas where you need to heal, set better boundaries, or nurture yourself more fully.
Next, Gawain distinguishes between spirit and form.
Okay.
Spirit is the essence of life, universe's energy, your higher self, eternal being. Form is the physical world body, personality, mind, emotions, self-concept ego. Two fundamental aspects of existence.
This distinction between spirit and form provides a really helpful framework for understanding your experience as a human being. Spirit is your true, eternal essence. Form is the temporary vehicle for experiencing the physical world.
She explains the spirit chooses to manifest as physical form, creates a body, life situation to learn and grow this lifetime.
Purposeful existence.
Yeah, the ultimate goal is for your body personality to become fully aligned, able to truly express that divine creative spirit within.
This perspective suggests your journey in the physical world is purposeful, chosen by your spirit for learning, growth, expressing its unique potential. Integrating spirit with physical form is seen as key to this journey.
However, she points out the form body, personality has its own primary responsibility. Physical survival, then thriving physically and emotionally.
It has its own consciousness focused on those needs.
So your body and ego aren't necessarily always perfectly aligned with the spirit's grand plan?
Exactly. Survival instincts, needs of the body, and personality can sometimes override spiritual awareness. Recognizing these inherent drives and their influence is important for a balanced approach to integrating spirit and form.
Gawain then discusses this common experience of forgetting our spiritual nature, our purpose, after birth.
The veil of forget
We get caught up in the survival consciousness of the physical world, become really identified with the form, believing we're just our personalities, losing touch with that deeper power source. So easy to get lost in the day-to-day. Forget the bigger picture, isn't it?
It is. Embodying in the physical world can temporarily veil your spiritual essence. Focusing on navigating the material world, seeking external validation, can create a sense of separation from your true nature, your inner power.
And when we're disconnected from spirit, she says, life often becomes a real struggle, trying to find meaning, satisfaction in the world of form alone.
That sense of emptiness many feel might stem from this disconnection.
Yeah.
The feelings of meaninglessness, dissatisfaction that arise often point to this underlying disconnection from your spiritual source. Pursuing happiness only through external achievements or possessions rarely brings lasting contentment.
She suggests we might spend lifetimes or many years in this cycle of seeking fulfillment externally.
Until we finally realize it doesn't really work.
Right, and end up feeling frustrated, maybe even giving up, a potential turning point, realizing we need to look elsewhere.
Reaching that point of disillusionment with the purely material pursuit of happiness can be a really powerful catalyst for turning attention inward, beginning the process of spiritual reconnection, self-discovery.
Gawain says rediscovering our spirit often involves intentionally withdrawing from the world's busyness to nurture this awareness.
Spending time in nature, meditation retreats, solitude, maybe even stepping back from relationships, work for a while. Creating space for inner reflection.
Yeah.
Creating periods of withdrawal, solitude allows you to quiet the external noise, turn attention inward. This can be essential for reconnecting with your spiritual essence, gaining a clearer sense of your true self, your purpose.
And when you do connect deeply with spirit, undistracted by form, she describes feelings of profound clarity, vision, wisdom, inner power, unconditional love.
Sounds like an incredible state of well-being, alignment.
Yeah.
That state of deep spiritual connection is often characterized by expanded awareness, inner peace, a profound feeling of being aligned with something larger than yourself. It's a state where your true nature shines through.
Gawain then presents a choice. Follow traditional spiritual paths, often involving withdrawal from the world.
The path of renunciation.
Or take on the perhaps more challenging path of moving into the world of form with full spiritual awareness, consciously integrating spirit and physical existence.
Bringing the sacred into the everyday. The
Yeah.
integration of your spirituality into your everyday life is a key challenge and opportunity in our modern world. Rather than choosing one over the other, it's about finding ways to live with spiritual awareness while fully engaging with the practicalities of human existence, bringing your inner light into all you do.
The first step in this integration, she says, is simply recognizing and feeling both the consciousness of your spirit, that deeper knowing, and the consciousness of your form, thoughts, feelings in the moment.
Noticing you might be more used to one, or flipping back and forth, becoming aware of these different aspects within you.
Mm.
Developing awareness of both your spiritual consciousness and your physical emotional consciousness allows you to begin conscious integration. It's about acknowledging, understanding the different perspectives, needs of these two vital aspects of yourself.
The second step, she emphasizes, is to really love and accept both aspects, spirit and form, as equally beautiful, vital parts of who you are.
Self-acceptance with all perceived imperfections is key to inner harmony.
Absolutely.
Loving and accepting both your spirit and your form with all their perceived limitations and imperfections is absolutely crucial for inner harmony. It's about embracing your humanity as an integral part of your spiritual journey.
She acknowledges your form personality. Actions might not always perfectly align with spirit's ideals.
But she also points out your form has its own wisdom, born from physical experiences. Your spirit can actually learn from this.
Right. We chose to be human for this experience. A two-way street of learning.
Exactly. Your physical experiences, emotional responses offer valuable lessons, insights for your spiritual growth. The challenges, limitations you encounter in human form can provide wisdom your spirit might not otherwise gain.
Gawain uses her own experience with the ideal of an open relationship, clashing with her very human feelings of jealousy.
A relatable example.
Yeah. Shows the spirit's ideals and form's realities don't always line up perfectly. Honest. Shows even teachers struggle.
Her willingness to share personal experiences, even vulnerable or contradictory ones, makes these principles feel much more grounded, relatable for you, highlights the ongoing process of integrating ideals with human emotions, needs.
She emphasizes you really can't force intuitive feelings.
Mm.
Sometimes even when your spirit knows something would work out, your form ego,
Yeah.
fears, might be too afraid to act.
A reminder to be patient with yourself, have compassion for your fears navigating this.
Yeah.
That's right. Growth, change happen at their own pace. Important to respect your fears, limitations, while gently encouraging yourself towards your intuition. It's a dance between inner knowing and human experience.
She gives a simple example. Intuitive feeling to reach out to a friend, but then form kicks in with fears about their reaction.
Taking that risk, making the call, even with fear, often leads to feeling energized, empowered, regardless of the outcome. It's about honoring that initial intuitive nudge.
Yeah.
Overcoming those initial hesitations, acting on intuitive promptings, even in small ways, can build confidence, often lead to surprisingly positive outcomes. It's about developing courage to step outside your comfort zone towards inner guidance.
Next, Gawain delves into developing both inner masculine and feminine energies for harmony.
Yin and yang, receptive and active, Jung's animus, achieving inner balance.
Right.
The integration of your masculine and feminine energies within yourself and in understanding the world is essential for wholeness, balance. Recognizing, nurturing both receptive and active qualities leads to greater inner harmony, a more complete expression of yourself.
She specifically mentions Shirley Luthman's ideas on the male-female within as a powerful tool for understanding life.
Sounds like Luthman's work really impacted Gawain's thinking practically.
It seems so.
Gawain highlighting Luthman suggests this perspective on inner male-female can offer you a clear, accessible way to understand aspects of your life, relationships, a valuable lens for self-reflection.
Gawain describes the traditional macho man as often having a repressed, almost helpless female voice inside.
And tends to attract women mirroring this lack of trust, respect for his own inner feminine. fascinating cycle of imbalance in relationships.
Yeah.
This analysis suggests outward displays of hypermasculinity can often mask an inner disconnect from the more receptive, emotional, intuitive aspects of self. This inner imbalance can then be reflected in the kinds of relationships formed.
She then explains the transformative effect when a man starts opening up to trusting his own feminine nature.
Finds nurturing support within himself.
And interestingly, the women in his life often mirror this shift, becoming stronger, more loving. That principle of outer reflecting inner again.
Exactly. When men embrace inner feminine qualities, they cultivate greater emotional intelligence, empathy, self-care, leading to healthier, more balanced relationships with women who may then feel more empowered, loved in return.
The feminine power, equated with spirit's power, is always within us, she says.
And the male energy within determines how we relate to it, fight control, or surrender support. Our inner relationship with our own intuition, spiritual wisdom.
Hmm.
For you, this highlights the different ways you can engage with your own intuition, spiritual guidance. Your inner masculine can either suppress and control these receptive aspects or support and nurture them, allowing inner wisdom to flourish.
Gawain sees a collective shift happening, away from fear control, towards surrender trust and intuition.
The rise of feminine energy transforming the old male into the new male who fully trusts, loves the feminine within and in others, becoming an equal partner, an optimistic vision of evolving gender relationships.
Yeah.
This vision offers you an encouraging perspective on the future of relationships, societal dynamics, suggests a move towards greater balance where both masculine and feminine energies are valued, integrated, leading to more harmonious, equitable partnerships.
She then leads through guided exercises, contacting your female intuitive voice, your male self.
Bringing them together, facilitating communication within. Inner dialogues sound like powerful tools for self-awareness, inner harmony.
Definitely.
Engaging in these kinds of inner dialogues can be incredibly valuable for you. Allows you to explore the different needs, perspectives of your masculine, feminine aspects, foster greater integration, cooperation within yourself.
Traditionally, she notes, men developed male energy through strong, direct, assertive action, often repressing intuition, emotions, sensitivity, nurturing.
Leading to dependence on women for those needs. Traditional gender roles creating incompleteness within individuals.
Wow.
Traditional gender roles often led to imbalance, certain qualities emphasized in one gender, suppressed in the other. This can create dependence, limit full expression of potential.
Now, she says, women are increasingly learning to back themselves up, validate themselves internally, not relying on men for this.
Though it's a deep pattern, it takes time to shift. This move towards self-reliance, internal validation, seems crucial for women's empowerment. As women learn to cultivate inner strength, self-worth, it shifts relationship dynamics away from dependence towards greater autonomy, partnership. This internal shift is essential for lasting change.
For women, Gawain suggests an interesting formula. Treat yourself exactly how you'd ideally want a man to treat you.
Builds an inner supportive male energy, which is then mirrored by men in your life. Inner reflecting outer in relationships again. This emphasizes the power of self-love, self-care in attracting healthy, supportive relationships. By embodying the qualities you desire in a partner within yourself, you create a resonance that draws those qualities to you.
And a parallel principle for men, often traditionally disconnected from feminine energy, leading to feelings of helplessness.
Connecting with their inner female provides internal nurturing, love. Men reclaiming emotional, intuitive sides.
Right.
For men, reconnecting with inner feminine energy can bring greater emotional depth, intuition, capacity for self-nurturing, leading to a more balanced, fulfilling inner life, healthier relationships.
Gawain even uses war as an example of old male energy lacking feminine wisdom, highlights the need for balance in collective actions.
The example of war serves as a powerful illustration of potential consequences of overemphasis on aggressive, uncontrolled masculine energy without the moderating influence of feminine wisdom, intuition, compassion.
She then addresses the emergence of men deeply connected with their feminine, but maybe disconnected from their male side.
Rejecting the macho image, but lacking a new concept of male energy. Sometimes fearing their male energy's potential for mindlessness, violence, a different kind of imbalance.
Wow.
This highlights that integrating masculine-feminine is nuanced. Some men, reacting to traditional norms, may over-identify with their feminine, become hesitant to embrace healthy, assertive, active qualities.
For these men, she says, important to embrace the new male concept, allowing spontaneous, active, even aggressive energy to flow freely.
But crucially, trusting the inner feminine to direct him wisely, compassionately, integrating both with trust, awareness.
Right.
The new male archetype integrates assertiveness, action with the wisdom, guidance of the inner feminine, allowing for a more balanced, conscious, ultimately more effective expression of masculine energy in the world.
Gawain shares a vivid anecdote.
Yeah.
A bazaar in India. Westerners eagerly buying handcrafted items.
While local Indians patiently waited for plastic goods, illustrates different value systems.
Yeah. And she points out, while East and West can learn from each other, ultimately each needs to find within themselves the qualities they admire in the other.
This cross-cultural observation highlights the diversity of human values, potential for mutual learning. However, as Gawain points out, true integration, growth, come from cultivating those valued qualities within ourselves, not just adopting them externally.
She hopes developing countries can learn from the West's mistakes regarding technology, harmony with spirit environment.
And hopes the West develops a more grounded spiritual path, helping people navigate the physical world, a call for global learning, integrated living. Gawain's perspective encourages a vision of global development, integrating technological advancement with spiritual wisdom, environmental consciousness, drawing lessons from both strengths and weaknesses of different cultures for a more sustainable, harmonious future.
She notes many traditional spiritual traditions, East and West, often based on removing oneself from the world to connect with spirit.
Acknowledging the world is difficult for maintaining inner focus. The path of renunciation, seeking enlightenment through detachment. Historically, many spiritual traditions emphasize detachment from the material world for spiritual realization. However, as Gawain points out, the challenge opportunity of our time is finding ways to integrate spiritual awareness into active engagement with the world.
She then leads through a guided meditation, seeing a new image of yourself living in the world, but deeply connected to universal guidance, trusting yourself, feeling strong, courageous, having inner knowingness.
Goal is creating beauty outside through inner trust, focus, nourishing self-others, deep relationships, effectively dealing with practical life aspects, embodying inner light in the world. Yeah. This guided meditation offers you a practical way to cultivate that inner trust, connection to deeper purpose, strength, helps you envision yourself living in the world with greater confidence, allowing inner wisdom to guide actions, creations.
This nicely leads into part 2, living the principles.
Right, laid the groundwork, now how to apply it. Starting with trusting intuition.
Exactly.
Part 2 shifts focus from theory to practical application in everyday life, beginning with consciously trusting, acting on intuition.
Gawain starts by pointing out most of us, from a young age, we're taught not to trust our feelings, express ourselves truthfully, recognize our loving, powerful, creative nature.
Instead, encouraged to accommodate others, follow rules, suppress impulses, do what's expected. Societal conditioning disconnecting you from inner wisdom, right?
Totally.
It can indeed. Early conditioning often prioritizes external validation, conformity over inner listening, authentic expression. For you, this highlights how those early messages might have inadvertently led you to discount your own inner knowing, rely more on external authorities.
And even rebellion, she says, can be a trap. Doing the opposite, just reacting against authority, isn't the same as genuinely trusting yourself.
True freedom comes from following your own inner truth, not just opposing someone else's.
Yeah.
Exactly. Reacting against authority while feeling like independence can still be a form of being controlled by what you're reacting against. True autonomy comes from aligning with your own inner guidance, making choices based on authentic understanding.
She argues consistently suppressing intuition, constantly seeking external validation, leads to giving away personal power.
Resulting in helplessness, emptiness, anger, numbness, a disempowering cycle.
Right.
For you, this underscores the importance of honoring your inner voice. Consistently overriding your own knowing for external approval erodes self-trust, personal agency, leading to those feelings of emptiness, disempowerment Gawain describes.
Gawain believes it's time to essentially re-educate our intellect, the rational mind.
To recognize intuition as a valid, valuable source of info. Train ourselves to listen to, express that intuitive voice, bringing logic and intuition into partnership.
Yeah, that's right. The intellect, properly aligned, working harmoniously with intuition, can be a powerful tool for discerning, then acting on inner guidance. It's about creating a collaborative relationship between rational and intuitive faculties.
Trusting intuition, she explains, really means tuning into gut feelings, acting on them moment by moment.
Even if they seem unexpected, illogical, emotionally vulnerable, or go against usual beliefs, it takes courage, willingness to step into the unknown, doesn't it?
It does.
It does. Following intuition often requires moving beyond your comfort zone, embracing uncertainty, trusting a deeper knowing, not always immediately explainable by logic. Those gut feelings are often subtle, but powerful signals worth attention.
She gives practical examples.
Hmm.
Suddenly urged to call someone you doubted, deciding to rest when you feel you should work.
Little acts of trust sometimes having significant results.
Yeah.
These seemingly small instances of following intuition can often lead to serendipitous events, unexpected opportunities. Acting on inner nudges often aligns you with a flow, bringing positive outcomes you might not have anticipated. Gawain introduces the helpful concept of different selves within us: conservative, adventurous, concerned about opinions.
Suggests a practical method, writing down their different viewpoints on an issue, acknowledging the different voices, perspectives within you.
Mhm.
Recognizing different selves or perspectives within you can be incredibly helpful for understanding the various voices influencing your decisions, actions. Giving each inner aspect a chance to express itself through writing leads to more comprehensive, less conflicted understanding.
She says once you've acknowledged conflicting viewpoints, just let them sit a while without trying to resolve them immediately.
Allows an intuitive sense of the next best step to naturally emerge, trusting inner wisdom to surface in its own time.
Right.
By creating space for all inner perspectives without immediate pressure to choose or solve, you allow a deeper, more intuitive understanding of the path forward to arise organically, trusting the wisdom of your inner process.
The intuitive self, she explains, often has a distinct energy or feeling. You learn to recognize it with practice.
Developing sensitivity to subtle inner signals, distinguishing them from louder voices of fear or desire.
Yeah.
With practice, you can indeed learn to discern the subtle cues, unique energetic signature of your intuition. Often feels different from fear, anxiety, wishful thinking, quieter, more grounded knowing.
She stresses regularly checking in with gut feelings multiple times a day.
Cultivating a habit of talking to your intuitive self, even mentally, asking for guidance, crucial for strengthening the connection.
Mm-hmm.
Establishing a regular practice of tuning into gut feelings, consciously seeking guidance from intuition, strengthens that connection over time. Becomes a more readily available resource when you make it a consistent part of inner dialogue.
Gawain points out intuitive answers might not always be clear words.
Could be images, strong feelings, even external sources like a book passage or something someone says. Stay open to guidance in unexpected ways. Exactly. Intuitive guidance can manifest diversely. Developing receptivity to these various forms, subtle feeling, vivid image, unexpected external info that resonates deeply, significantly enriches understanding, decision-making.
She also reminds us our body is a tremendous helper with intuition.
Physical pain, discomfort, often signs we're ignoring deeper feelings, intuitive nudges. Paying attention to physical sensations is important.
Yeah.
That's right. Your body often provides valuable feedback when you're not aligned with intuition or suppressing emotions. Paying attention to physical sensations offers important clues about what's truly going on within you.
Gawain clarifies this inner intuitive voice is often more a feeling or energy than a literal voice.
Often a simple sense of wanting or not wanting something. A clear inner direction, more felt than spoken.
Right.
Intuition is often experienced as a subtle inner knowing or feeling, not a clear verbal command. Learning to recognize, trust these gentle nudges, inclinations is key to following its guidance effectively.
She says the main sign you're actually following intuition is increased aliveness, life energy flowing through your body.
Sometimes can even feel a bit overwhelming as your body expands its capacity to channel universal energy, a physical sign of alignment.
Yeah.
When you are aligned with intuition, you often experience greater vitality, flow, even excitement. This increased energy can sometimes feel intense as your system adjusts to a higher energetic frequency.
To balance this increased energy, Gawain recommends enough relaxation, rest, staying grounded.
Exercise, nature, self-nurturing, healthy food. Taking care of physical well-being supports channeling this energy.
Right.
Grounding practices are essential for integrating higher energy levels, maintaining balance when actively following intuition. These self-care activities help stay connected to your physical body, manage financial feelings of being overwhelmed.
Gawain gives practical examples of acting on intuition: taking an unplanned route, impulsively spending money, expressing a contrary opinion.
Even deciding not to fulfill an expected duty because you just don't feel like it. Honoring inner impulses, even ones seeming a bit odd.
Hmm.
These examples illustrate how following intuition can lead you to deviate from usual routines, expectations. Honoring spontaneous urges, trusting they might lead to unexpected positive experiences.
She reminds us, you don't need to be perfect to be a channel for the universe.
Authenticity, honesty, spontaneity allow creative force to flow freely, clearing blockages.
Right. Sometimes clearing blocks might feel unpleasant initially, but ultimately that flowing energy feels fantastic. Being real, not perfect.
Exactly. Authenticity, vulnerability are key to letting natural creative energy flow unimpeded. Trying to be perfect can actually create more resistance blockages. Embracing your true self, imperfections and all, makes you a clearer channel.
She says the clearer your inner channel, the more perfectly the universe can express through you.
Our ongoing process of self-awareness, working through issues, releasing blocks, constantly refines our ability to be a clear conduit for universal energy.
Gawain makes an important point. Some spiritual models might reflect more good ideas than accurate enlightenment.
Many desire constant mellowness, positivity, love, often from a need for control. But true spirituality embraces the full spectrum, not just the good parts. That's a
Yeah.
crucial distinction. Desire for constant positivity can sometimes be resistance to the natural ebb and flow of life, emotions. True spiritual growth involves embracing, accepting the full spectrum of human experience, including so-called negative feelings.
The universe, she reminds us, has many changing colors, moods, speeds, styles, directions.
Trying to maintain a constant state of only good feelings resists life's natural dynamism.
Right.
Truly letting go of that need for control, fearlessly moving with this natural flow, leads to the real ecstasy of being a true channel. Surrendering to reality's ever-changing nature.
Rendering.
Surrendering to reality's ever-changing nature, trusting the universe's flow can lead to a much richer, more authentic life experience, including moments of profound joy, connection that come from letting go of needing control.
Gawain shares encountering many people in workshops who repressed feelings their whole lives.
Afraid of being overwhelmed, stuck in negative emotions, emotional repression seems widespread.
It does.
It is. Many learn to suppress emotions due to fear of judgment, conditioning, belief. Certain feelings are unacceptable. This repression, however, leads to significant energetic blockages, hinders growth.
But the truth, she says, is fully experiencing a feeling, even uncomfortable ones, releases blocked energy quickly, allows the feeling to dissolve naturally.
Found supporting someone moving into fully expressing blocked emotion can lead to surprisingly rapid dissipation, moving through the emotion, not around it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Allowing yourself to fully feel, express emotions, even ones you consider negative, is essential for releasing blocked energy, achieving emotional freedom. Resisting actually prolongs the experience.
Releasing past blocked emotions, she assures us, actually enriches life with greater energy, overall vitality.
Like freeing up resources previously tied up in suppression, allowing you to experience life more vibrantly.
Right.
By processing, releasing stored emotions, you liberate energy, create space for greater aliveness, joy, creativity to flow into your life.
She stresses staying in touch with feelings as they arise in the moment to keep the inner channel clear.
Reminds us emotions are cyclical, constantly changing like weather, they come and go, allowing that natural flow. Maintaining awareness of feelings as they arise allows them to move through naturally without getting stuck. This emotional fluidity is key to keeping inner channels clear, open, preventing buildup of stagnant energy.
And she makes a really insightful point. Resisting certain feelings causes us to get stuck halfway into them.
Resistance prolongs discomfort, not the feeling itself.
Wow. Okay, this might sound counterintuitive, but Gawain advises feeling more negative feelings, not less.
Believes true freedom, fulfillment come from learning to love, accept all parts of ourselves, even parts we don't like. Radical self-acceptance. That's a powerful message. True emotional freedom doesn't come from avoiding difficult emotions, but from embracing, accepting all aspects of your inner experience. This inclusivity leads to greater wholeness, resilience.
She explains, physical pain is often our resistance to a sensation.
A mechanism body uses to avoid harm, signal injury needing care. Understanding pain's purpose can shift our relationship to it.
Makes sense.
Exactly. Physical pain often serves as a signal something's amiss, needs attention. Understanding its purpose helps you respond more effectively, whether seeking medical care or acknowledging an emotional root.
Gawain says anger often arises from disowning true power, allowing others undue influence.
Note sometimes suppressed anger surfaces as consciousness grows, a sign you're reclaiming power. So anger isn't always bad.
Right.
It's an insightful reframe of anger. As you become more aware of boundaries, inherent power, suppressed anger may surface as you reclaim autonomy, challenge situations where you feel disempowered.
She even says sometimes you might find yourself setting up situations triggering anger, especially if you haven't allowed yourself to feel it much.
Important then to feel the anger, recognize it as power, even visualize it as a volcano of energy within, acknowledging, learning to harness this powerful emotion healthily.
Hmm.
When you start acknowledging previously suppressed anger, you may indeed find yourself in situations that trigger it. Important to recognize this anger not just as negative, but also as energy, a signal boundaries might be crossed. Learning to express it constructively is key.
Gawain then offers a helpful categorization, roughly doers and beers.
Doers, action-oriented, good expressing outgoing energy, trouble receiving, uncomfortable with vulnerability, unstructured time.
Beers, primarily receptive, comfortable being still, enjoy nurturing, may struggle initiating action, expressing own needs. Roughly type A, type B, simplified, but useful for self-understanding.
These archetypes offer a simplified but often insightful framework for understanding different ways of engaging with the world, highlight potential areas for growth, balance. Recognizing which tendency you lean towards helps identify areas where you might benefit from developing opposite qualities.
The first most important step dealing with inner selves, she says, is becoming conscious of them.
Separating from identification, recognizing them as parts of you, allows conscious choice about which aspects get influence. Awareness, always the first step.
Right.
Becoming aware of different inner selves, roles they play, allows you to step out of automatic patterns, make more conscious choices about responding, moving from unconscious reaction to conscious action.
She also stresses appreciating these inner selves for how they tried to help what they still offer.
Even seemingly negative aspects often have positive intention behind them.
Hmm.
Recognizing the positive intent behind all inner selves, even challenging ones, fosters self-compassion, facilitates integration. Understanding motivations helps work with them, not against them.
She uses the inner authoritarian example, carries need for order, structure, learned rules.
Often strong in those raised with authoritarian figures. Tries to protect by ensuring rule-following, responsible behavior. Understanding origins helps relate with more awareness. Exactly. Inner authoritarian often develops as protective mechanism, internalizing external rules, expectations, understanding its origins. Positive intention helps relate with more awareness, less automatic obedience or rebellion.
Gawain notes often identifying with authoritarian or rebel is unconscious.
Limits choices, freedom.
Mhm.
Makes connecting with intuition, true desires difficult when these parts control or conflict. Inner battles cloud inner guidance.
Yeah.
When unconsciously identified with authoritarian or rebel, you get trapped in rigid behavior patterns, preventing access to intuitive wisdom, pursuing true desires. Unconscious identifications limit flexibility, ability to respond authentically.
The key, she says, is become aware of, recognize both energies, authoritarian, rebel. Notice when one takes over or they conflict.
Acknowledge their attempts to help, then drop deeper, intuitively sense true needs, wants, moving beyond surface conflict to deeper inner knowing.
Right.
By observing dynamics between inner authoritarian rebel, acknowledging underlying intentions, then tuning into deeper intuitive sense, you find more balanced, authentic ways of navigating situations, moving beyond reactive patterns.
Gawain shares an insightful client example. Frustration with career leading to self-sabotage, forgetting tasks, triggered anger at bosses' reasonable requests, feeling trapped.
Relatable scenario of inner conflict manifesting externally.
Yeah.
This client example beautifully illustrates how unconscious inner conflicts here, authoritarian need job versus rebel, frustration, resentment, manifest as challenges, frustrations in external life impacting work, relationships.
Through work, client identified her rebel fighting against inner authoritarian and perceived controlling boss.
Traced rebel roots back to childhood issues with authority. Understanding origins often crucial for lasting change. Exactly. Exploring origins of inner selves, behavior patterns provides valuable insights into present challenges, helps break free from limiting beliefs, reactions formed in the past.
Well, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Client realized suppressed desire to be a saleswoman, but afraid to try.
Bringing unconscious desires into the light, often key step in growth, finding fulfilling paths,
Yeah.
recognizing, acknowledging true desires, even if scary or impractical at first, essential for aligning life with authentic self, moving towards greater fulfillment.
By formulating concrete steps, supporting her hidden goal, while keeping current job and listing boss's help, informational interviews.
Empowered her to start taking action towards what she truly wanted. Great example of translating inner insight into practical real-world steps. Once you gain clarity about desires, underlying conflicts holding you back, developing concrete action steps, even small ones, helps move towards goals with greater confidence, intention.
And just a month later, client reported less power from authoritarian rebel, making progress on sales goal, feeling much better overall.
Shows how awareness of inner dynamics plus aligned action leads to significant positive change relatively quickly.
Yeah.
This positive outcome beautifully demonstrates transformative power of bringing unconscious patterns to light, then taking concrete steps aligned with true desires. Highlights how inner work leads to tangible results in outer life.
Gawain offers a practical exercise for you, the listener.
Identify demanding, controlling, overly authoritarian rules behaviors in life areas: work, money, relationships, self-expression, health.
Then write down corresponding rebel thoughts.
Finally, drop deeper, ask what you most want in those areas. Discover what's true for you. Write down thoughts, feelings. Great tool for personal self-inquiry.
Absolutely.
This exercise offers you a structured way to explore your own inner authoritarian rebel dynamics, connect with deeper desires, intuitive wisdom, helps move beyond surface conflicts, identify what truly resonates with your authentic self in various life aspects.
Okay, moving on to relationships and families. Gawain observed they seem to be falling apart rapidly these days.
Calls it potential crisis point after thousands of years in a tragic predicament and how we relate. Dramatic assessment.
It is.
Gawain observes significant upheaval, change in traditional relationship structures, family dynamics, suggests many old paradigms may no longer serve evolving needs, consciousness.
Notes many react by panicking, trying to reestablish old traditions for stability.
Natural tendency to cling to familiar in uncertain times.
Yeah.
In times of rapid change, uncertainty, natural tendency to try reverting to familiar structures for security, even if no longer fully functional or aligned with current understanding.
However, Gawain argues going backwards isn't viable. Collective consciousness evolved beyond willingness to make sacrifices needed for old ways, staying in dead relationships for stability.
Can't unlearn what we've learned about own needs, desires.
Right.
Our evolving understanding of ourselves, needs, what's possible in relationships means we may no longer be willing to compromise well-being, fulfillment like previous generations did. This consciousness shift makes simply returning to old models unsustainable.
She believes there's growing realization, deeper intimacy, ongoing aliveness, passion in relationships are possible.
Leading us to let go of old, limiting ideas. But challenges haven't figured out where to create new ideals. In between phase.
Yeah.
Exactly. Desire for more authentic, intimate, fulfilling relationships drives move away from traditional models emphasizing stability over genuine connection. However, new paradigms truly supporting these deeper needs are still emerging, being defined.
And she points out many still looking externally for the right person to make them happy.
Or expecting others to behave certain ways for their contentment. Focus often on what other person should do, not our inner state.
Right.
Persistent tendency to project needs, expectations onto partners, others. Seeking external validation, fulfillment, rather than cultivating it within. External focus often leads to disappointment, frustration.
This lack of clear guidelines, old fading, new not formed, creates confusion, frustration, chaos in relationships.
Gawain believes this necessitates moving forward into the unknown, willing to experiment, consciously create new kinds of relationships based on deeper understanding of self, each other. Navigating current relationship landscape requires willingness to embrace uncertainty, actively participate in creating new models based on greater self-awareness, authenticity, deeper understanding of what truly fosters connection, fulfillment.
Gawain brings it back to core principle again. External relationships reflect internal relationship with self.
Primary relationship is with self. Others are mirrors reflecting aspects of that inner connection. Underscores importance of inner work.
Totally.
Absolutely. Your external relationships serve as powerful mirror reflecting quality of relationship with yourself. Cultivating self-love, self-acceptance, strong inner connection is foundational for healthy, fulfilling connections with others.
She firmly believes when you truly learn to love yourself, that automatically attracts love, appreciation you desire from others.
Really does start from within, doesn't it?
It does.
Self-love creates vibrational resonance, attracting love, appreciation from external world. When you value, cherish yourself, others more likely to treat you with the same respect, affection.
Similarly, she says when committed to self, living own truth naturally attracts others equally committed to authenticity, own path.
Like attracts like, it seems.
Yeah.
Living aligned with own truth, values creates magnetic field, drawing individuals also committed to authenticity, integrity in their own lives.
Gawain also makes point, willing to be truly intimate with own deepest feelings, even uncomfortable ones.
Creates space to be truly intimate with another person. Emotional openness with self paves way for deeper connection with others. Your capacity for intimacy with others directly related to willingness to be vulnerable, explore own inner emotional landscape. Comfortable with own feelings, you create safe space for deeper connection with others.
And seems logical. Genuinely enjoy own company, comfortable being alone.
Allows more fun presence when with others. Self-sufficiency enhances ability to connect healthily without neediness.
Right.
Exactly. Content. Fulfilled in own company. You bring greater joy, freedom, authenticity to interactions with others, rather than seeking to fill a void.
Ultimately, she believes when feeling aliveness, power of universe flowing through you.
Creates life filled with passionate feelings, deep fulfillment, something you naturally share with partners. Inner vitality enhances all relationships.
Yeah.
Connecting with inner source of vitality, power enriches entire life, including relationships. Living from inner fulfillment, you have more to share with partners, create more passionate, vibrant connection.
Now, shifting to raising children offers interesting perspective. In a way, you don't actually raise them traditionally.
Believes universe is true parent. Your role, be clear channel for universal guidance, love to flow through. Emphasizes child's innate wisdom, connection.
Right.
This perspective encourages shift from controlling, molding children to allowing their natural wisdom, potential to unfold. Parent role becomes providing supportive, loving environment through which universe guides them.
Following your own energy,
Yeah.
doing what feels best, authentic for you.
Allows universe to flow more freely through you to children. As you thrive fulfilled, they naturally thrive too. Leading by example, importance of parental self-care for whole family.
Definitely.
When parents live authentically, aligned with own well-being, they create positive, supportive, energetic field benefiting children. Your own happiness, fulfillment become a powerful model for kids.
She has this beautiful belief. Babies are incredibly powerful, intuitive beings, simply learning to live in a body.
Sees spirits as developed as adults, sometimes more so, suggests parents can learn much from them. Challenges traditional view of babies as helpless, unknowing.
Yeah.
Recognizing inherent wisdom, spiritual maturity of babies profoundly shifts parenting approach. Encourages seeing them as conscious individuals with own understanding, relating with respect from beginning.
According to Gawain, children essentially need two main things from parents.
First, recognize for who they really are, powerful, sophisticated spiritual beings. Relate that way from start so they don't hide inner power. Second, clear example how to live effectively in world of form. Learn best observing, imitating what parents do, not just say. Align actions with words, honor innate spirit.
Exactly. Children thrive when acknowledged, respected for true nature, and have parents modeling conscious, authentic living. Actions speak much louder than words guiding children.
For parents becoming more conscious, Gawain acknowledges potential guilt about past parenting.
Offers helpful perspective. Children are powerful beings responsible for own lives. Choose parents for specific learning. Liberating thought for parents on growth journey.
It is.
Understanding children have own unique soul journeys. Choose families for specific learning. Offers parents peace. Release from unnecessary guilt about past mistakes. Emphasizes child's own agency.
He also believes children positively affected by parents' ongoing growth, transformation, even if grown far away.
All relationships have telepathic element. Inner work benefits children regardless of distance. Comforting for parents of older or distant children.
Energetic connection between family members remains even across distance. Parents' commitment to personal growth, healing has positive, far-reaching influence on children, regardless of proximity.
Because we haven't always been fully attuned to our own being, Gawain suggests it's often hard to recognize, trust spirit within our children.
Mistakenly interpret physical immaturity as lower awareness, responsibility. Encourages reconsidering these assumptions.
Right.
Our own lack of full awareness of spiritual nature can indeed lead us to underestimate inherent wisdom capabilities of children. About shifting perception to recognize innate intelligence, spiritual depth.
Makes a powerful point. Underlying attitude, many adults have children helpless, need controlling.
Is picked up, reflected in children's behavior. Conversely, treating them as powerful, spiritually mature, responsible leads them to rise to expectation, respond accordingly. Beliefs about children shape their reality. Your expectations, beliefs about children, profoundly influence development, behavior. Treating with respect, acknowledging inherent capabilities, fostering responsibility leads to them embodying those qualities more fully.
Gawain says children often mirror parents' inner states. Parent trying to appear calm but upset inside.
Children might become disruptive, reflecting inner chaos, underscores importance of authenticity in parenting.
Yeah.
Children incredibly attuned to parents' emotional states, often picking up subtle cues, inconsistencies between outward appearance, inner feelings, can lead to behavioral mirroring, child reflecting parents' underlying emotional state.
Suggests directly expressing true feelings to children. Age appropriately without dumping blaming.
Creates comfort, congruity, often leads to children calming down. Honesty, open communication fosters safety, understanding.
Right.
Open, honest communication of feelings, when done respectfully, age-appropriately, creates security, trust within family. Often helps children regulate own emotions, witnessing yours expressed healthfully.
Sharing feelings doesn't mean dumping anger, expecting kids to be partners' therapists.
About age-appropriate honesty, modeling healthy emotional expression.
Exactly.
Important to differentiate expressing own feelings authentically versus inappropriately offloading emotional burdens onto children. Healthy communication involves sharing experience without expecting them to carry emotional weight.
Gawain acknowledges occasional anger frustration slips out. We're human.
When that happens, acknowledge it, apologize if needed, let it go. Part of learning in close relationships.
Okay.
Imperfect communication, part of all human relationships, including with children. Acknowledging mistakes, making amends when appropriate, letting go fosters resilience, growth in relationship.
When child does something disliked, Gawain advises, tell him how you feel, deal directly.
But also reflect. How might this behavior mirror something in you? Or how might you be unintentionally supporting it? Taking responsibility, looking for own role. Children's behavior often reflects unconscious pattern, unmet needs within parents. Taking a moment to reflect on own potential contribution leads to more effective, compassionate responses.
Gives examples. Secretive child might reflect parents' lack of openness. Rebellious child might mirror parents' inner authoritarian rebel dynamic.
Mirrorings offer valuable insights into own inner world.
Yeah.
These examples beautifully illustrate how children's behaviors act as mirrors, reflecting parents' internal states, unresolved issues, offering opportunities for self-awareness, growth for parent.
Gawain suggests as parents deal with own inner emptiness lack, they naturally start looking at own wants, needs, how to satisfy them healthfully.
Trusting gut feelings, acting on them. This shift towards parental self-care benefits entire family system.
Right.
When parents prioritize own well-being, learn to meet own needs, actually liberates children from unconsciously feeling responsible for parents' happiness, allows children to thrive, focus on own growth.
Says at this point, children really flourish, freed from unconscious burden of caring for parents' emotional needs.
Become much freer to pursue own lives, become own true channels for universe's energy. Beautiful picture of healthy family dynamics. When children freed from unconscious responsibility of meeting parents' unmet needs, empowered to pursue own paths, express true selves, develop into full potential.
Gawain shares a lovely anecdote. Couple recognized daughter as powerful being from birth.
Treated with respect as conscious entity. Result: remarkable child, strong presence, open channel to universe. Powerful, real-world example of this parenting philosophy.
Yeah.
Story provides compelling illustration of positive impact of recognizing, respecting child's innate wisdom, power from early age. Shows treating as conscious individuals leads to them embodying that power potential.
Gawain leads to another short guided meditation. Relax. Move awareness deep within.
Followed by practical exercise. Consciously practice telling truth to children, expressing feelings honestly even when vulnerable. Ask about their feelings, truly listen.
Tempted to give advice? Ask first. Offer own feelings instead if they decline. Concrete steps towards conscious, authentic parenting.
These guided practices offer concrete tools for cultivating more authentic communication, deeper listening, greater respect for children's inner world. Encourage shift from traditional power dynamics to more reciprocal, understanding relationships.
Shifting gears now. Work and play. Gawain points out culture's obsession with achievement, productivity.
Value ingrained in society. Modern Western culture often places very high premium on external achievements, measurable productivity, often equating busyness with worthiness.
But in this new world, she envisions work and play blend seamlessly following universe's flow within you.
When in that flow, money naturally comes as a result of open channel created, more integrated, less pressured approach to time energy.
Yeah.
In more holistic view, work becomes joyful expression of true self, financial abundance, natural byproduct of aligning with purpose, life's flow, rather than sole focus.
Work isn't just survival, just making money anymore. Delight of self-expression becomes greatest reward.
Money becomes more natural part of being alive, not necessarily direct cause effect with specific job task, real redefinition of work reward.
Right. When engaged in activities truly aligned with passions, talents, intrinsic reward of self-expression, joy of process becomes more motivating than purely financial gain. Money, than natural flow supporting well-being.
Gawain makes interesting point. Your unique way of expressing yourself might not exist in defined form yet.
Following own energy might lead many directions, eventually synthesizing into new creative combinations beyond traditional career labels. Embrace novelty. Allow own path to unfold organically.
Okay.
Exactly. Your true calling, most fulfilling way of contributing may involve unique combination of skills, interests not fitting neatly into traditional paths. Following inner guidance leads you to create something entirely new, authentic.
Key, she says, is focus on doing what you genuinely love, are naturally good at, comes relatively easily,
Yeah.
but with enjoyable challenge.
Leads to satisfaction in present moment, not always delaying gratification. Finding joy in the journey itself.
Aligning work with passions, natural talents, sense of flow brings deep satisfaction, fulfillment in present moment. Makes process itself rewarding, not just focus on end result.
Makes encouraging point. When truly being channel for universe's energy, everything you do, no matter how small,
Yeah.
becomes a contribution.
Your very being impacts world around you. When operating from authenticity, connection to universal energy, even seemingly mundane tasks become acts of contribution, have positive ripple effect.
Gawain emphasizes it's the energy of universe moving through us that's real agent of transformation, not just specific actions.
Intention, energy behind what we do make the difference.
Right.
The impact of action stems not just from outward form, but underlying energy, intention, presence brought to those actions.
Use the example of writing a book.
Mm.
True impact on reader, not just words, but universal energy connecting with readers' deeper awareness.
Words almost secondary to energetic transmission. Creative work, like writing, serves as conduit for universal energy, resonating with readers' own inner wisdom, capacity for transformation. Words are vehicle, energy truly connects, inspires.
Real joy, she says, isn't just in creating doing, but energy moving through you, received by others. Transformational experience through connection. All about flow, shared experience.
Process of creation, connection with those receiving work brings profound joy, sense of purpose. In that energetic exchange, potential for transformation, deepest satisfaction lies.
So whether washing dishes or building house, if doing with sense of being where you want to be, aligned with inner self.
Energy felt by everyone around, impacts, catalyzes their growth, even unconsciously. State of being has ripple effects. Your inner state of being significantly influences energetic field around you. Engaged in activity with presence, alignment, that energy positively impacts those around, even without direct interaction.
It even says just being whole, authentic in room, affects, catalyzes others, even unconsciously.
Our presence carries energetic signature with subtle but real influence. Your state of wholeness, authenticity, creates certain energetic resonance, having catalyzing effect on others, even subconsciously. Your beingness itself becomes form of contribution.
Gawain suggests this might lead some to focus on one lifelong career, others led to build structure in various areas, learning skills naturally, enjoyably as part of channel's function.
No single right way for this to manifest.
Right.
Your path of self-expression contribution may manifest as singular focused career or more diverse range of experiences, skills, guided by inner flow, natural process of learning, growth.
Points out when in this flow, learning new things becomes as satisfying as doing.
Don't need to sacrifice present enjoyment for future gratification. Learning, growing a long way, inherently rewarding.
Makes sense.
When aligned with purpose, following passions, process of learning, growth becomes intrinsically satisfying. Eliminates need for constant sacrifice and present for future rewards. Journey itself, source of joy.
For Gawain personally, teaching workshops is active sharing that deepens her learning.
Lines between teacher-learner, Work-play blur when in flow. Beautiful cycle of giving-receiving where both enriched.
Yeah.
Sharing knowledge, experiences not only benefits others, but deepens own understanding, creates reciprocal flow of learning, growth, blurring traditional boundaries between teaching, learning, work-play.
Believes most people have deep inner sense what they'd truly love to do,
Yeah.
often repressed as impractical fantasy.
Encourages getting in touch with fantasies, believes they contain truth about what you genuinely want to express. Dreams hold valuable clues to true calling.
Okay.
Your seemingly impractical fantasies often hold valuable insights into deepest desires, authentic path of self-expression. Exploring these dreams reveals what truly excites, energizes you.
Gawain shares inspiring examples, individuals following inner guidance making significant shifts in work careers.
Nurse healers shifting to workshops counseling. Successful real estate businessman admitting dream to be dancer, taking classes. Mother on welfare intuitively drawn to finance, became successful stockbroker. Talented pianist gave up dream, encouraged play again after 15 years. Renewed sense of power, illustrates power of listening to inner call.
Great stories.
These diverse, inspiring examples demonstrate transformative potential of trusting inner guidance, pursuing passions, even when paths seem unconventional, challenging. Show fulfillment often lies in aligning work with authentic self.
Gawain provides practical exercises exploring workplay.
List things genuinely love, good at, come easily, explore seemingly impractical fantasies, how'd like to be, what like doing, right? Ideal scene, perfect job career, present tense, vivid details, review periodically, track progress. Great tools for aligning work life with true passions.
Yeah, really practical.
These exercises offer you concrete methods for gaining clarity about passions, talents, aspirations, and work realm, consciously moving towards more fulfilling professional life, aligning with authentic self, bringing joy.
Now, shifting focus to money. Gawain says ability earns spend abundantly, wisely, based on being clear channel for universe's energy.
Stronger, more open inner channel allows more flow, all about interconnection.
Right.
Your capacity to attract, manage financial resources directly connected to ability receive, channel universe's abundance. Inner channel's clear, open flow of abundance in all areas, including finances, tends to increase.
Believes when really trusts self, willing take risks following inner guidance, increase likelihood having all money needed.
Even says universe will pay you. Be true self. Do what genuinely love. Paradigm shift in thinking about earning value.
It really is.
That's powerful. Reframe how abundance works. Aligning with authentic self, pursuing passions opens you to receiving financial support needed to thrive. Shift from scarcity mindset to trust in universe's provision.
Gawain contrasts old way thinking about money, based on attachment to external world, seeking satisfaction from material things.
Believing survival depends on getting hoarding, equating fulfillment with wealth level, very scarcity-based.
Yeah.
Old paradigm of money often rooted in fear, scarcity, belief, external possessions, key to happiness, security. Mindset tends to create anxiety, constant striving for more.
In contrast, describes new world understanding, based on deep trust in universe within.
Recognizing universal creative intelligence as fundamental source of everything. Connecting, surrendering to inner source means everything ultimately yours. Inner emptiness filled from within, not external acquisitions. Mindset of abundance, inner sufficiency.
Wow.
New paradigm shifts focus from external acquisition to inner sense of abundance, trust in universe as ultimate provider. Emphasizes true fulfillment comes from within. Material resources, natural outflow of interconnection.
Money, she says, essentially reflection of energy moving through own channel.
More trust, intuition, follow inner guidance, stronger channel, greater potential money flow. Inner alignment impacts financial reality.
Definitely.
Exactly. Your financial well-being, reflection of energetic state, ability align with natural flow of abundance. Trusting intuition clears blockages, allows more energy, including financial resources, flow freely.
This money flow, she believes, based on listening to inner guidance, willing to take inspired action, even if feels risky.
Letting go need control every aspect. Instead, acting on universal guidance often leads to money flow feeling easy, effortless, joyful, without constant struggle, sacrifice.
Joy of following universal energy, primary focus, money added bonus.
When release need for rigid control, instead follow intuitive guidance, financial resources flow into life with greater ease, joy, often arising from unexpected sources without constant striving, sacrifice.
Gawain emphasizes need both outgoing energy towards goals and nurturing appreciative energy towards self to attract, receive abundance.
Finding balance between giving, receiving, action allowing.
Right.
Healthy flow of abundance requires both active pursuit of goals and receptive state of self-care, appreciation. Need open to both giving and receiving, maintain energetic balance.
Notes many people more developed one side, good going after things or naturally good attracting things.
But often need consciously develop other side, achieve true balance, abundance. Achieving financial well-being often involves developing both capacity, take action, and ability receive with gratitude. Balancing these two aspects ensures more harmonious flow of abundance.
Suggests sometimes just taking risk, following impulse leads renewed energy, more inspired creative work, done less time.
Intuitive impulses often lead unexpected positive outcomes. Better job offer, creative inspiration, exciting new adventures. Trusting gut feelings, surprisingly beneficial.
Yeah.
Following intuitive impulses, even when seem unconventional, risky, often leads breakthroughs, creativity, increased energy levels, unexpected opportunities, growth, abundance you might not have otherwise encountered.
Gawain explains money flows into whatever you created in life with capacity to receive it.
Attracted to what genuinely need, truly want, clearly envision. Ability receive influences what attract financially. Ability to attract financial resources closely linked to inner capacity receive. Clarity about needs, desires, value bring to world. More open receiving, more abundance flow your way.
Also notes if operating on survival level with money, pattern likely continues.
Suddenly attract more. Initially, expenses might increase, match new level. About underlying mindset, comfort zone with abundance.
Right.
Your ingrained beliefs, patterns around money often influence level abundance allow into life. Shifting from survival-based mindset to one of abundance key step-changing financial reality.
Finally, context money offers practical advice.
Yeah.
Chronic money problems, significant debt.
Strongly recommend seeking help from professionals specializing in those areas. Sometimes expert external support exactly what's needed.
Good point.
Addressing persistent, significant financial challenges may indeed require seeking guidance, support from financial experts, providing strategies, tools navigate difficulties.
Gawain shares own personal money experiences, time, living more on edge, trusting money needed would appear.
Recounts how eventually, consistently following passions, counseling, teaching, writing, publishing, found herself living abundance. Own life illustrates principles.
Yeah.
Gawain's own life experiences provide compelling example how trusting intuition, following passions, aligning with purpose can indeed lead financial well-being, abundance.
Share story. Suddenly, no money, despite usual flow. Felt brief fear, quickly shifted total calm, willingness, do whatever universe asked, letting go attachments.
Led profound fearlessness, deep inner knowing she'd be okay regardless financial circumstances. Powerful lesson, trust, surrender.
It is.
Experience facing financial lack with surrender. Trust highlights power, releasing attachment-specific outcomes. Having faith, universe provision. Moment letting go, deeper sense inner security, resilience found.
Also accounts intuitively drawn, buy land, Hawaii create home retreat center. Didn't feel right. Sold, moderate loss.
Eventually led finding, buying dream property, Kauai, lovely part. Years later, mother met buyer's Maui property, shared vivid visualization from creative visualization, perfectly matching property, secured after another offer fell through. Buying Gawain's land.
Amazing connection.
Became friends, beautifully developed property. Gawain felt deep satisfaction despite financial loss, felt guided by it and sure reached right caretakers. Beautiful story, intuition, trust, unexpected connections.
It really is.
Anecdote beautifully illustrates how following intuition, even when seems lead perceived setback, ultimately guide towards true desires, connect others unexpected, meaningful ways. Highlights larger interconnected web life, wisdom trusting process.
Turning now to health. Gawain starts. Normal child, positive environment naturally has beautiful, lively, body-filled vitality.
Natural energy universe flowing freely, unimpeded negative habits, beliefs. Children embody natural wellness state.
Right.
Children's supportive environment naturally express vitality, well-being as life force flows through without blockages developing later life.
Allowing universal energy move through by consistently trusting, following intuition, increases overall aliveness.
Reflected increasing health, natural beauty, vibrant vitality, living aligned with inner guidance promotes physical well-being too.
Yeah.
When live accordance intuition allow natural flow universal energy, body tends reflect this increased health, vitality, natural radiance.
Conversely, not trusting self, not living aligned inner truth, decreases aliveness.
manifests lost vitality, numbness, physical pain, eventually disease. Disconnection from true self has tangible physical consequences.
Right.
Suppressing intuition, living out alignment, authentic self restricts flow vital energy. Leads decline physical health, manifestation disease, result energetic blockage.
Gawain sees disease, essentially message from body, misalignment, true energy, or unsupported feelings carried.
Often starts subtle cues. Tiredness, general discomfort. Ignore those. Messages escalate stronger signals. Intense pain, serious illness, accidents. Body trying to get attention.
Yeah.
Physical symptoms often serve signals from body not honoring true needs, feelings. Paying attention, subtle cues early on prevent development more serious issues.
Points out paying attention subtle cues often helps avoid stronger dramatic messages.
But emphasizes healing always possible if truly desire it. Though acknowledges sometimes people unconsciously choose leave physical bodies rather than work through deep-seated old patterns. Healing ultimately choice, sometimes soul has an own path. While body remarkable capacity healing, willingness address underlying emotional energetic patterns essential, sometimes soul-level individual may choose different path rather than engage deep healing work.
Gawain gives specific examples: physical symptoms, potential emotional energetic roots, plus affirmations.
Allergies, lack trust intuition, repressed feelings, watery eyes, suppressed sadness, back pain, feeling I support others, need expressed feelings, lower sadness, upper anger. Interesting perspective, mind-body connection, illness.
It is.
Examples beautifully illustrate interconnectedness, physical, emotional, energetic states. Offer potential ways understanding, addressing physical symptoms through inner work, positive affirmations.
One most important keys: healthy, beautiful body, consistent self-assertion.
Learning set healthy boundaries. Stand up for self, absolutely crucial overall well-being.
Right?
Exactly. Asserting needs, setting clear boundaries, honoring own truth is maintaining physical, emotional health. Suppressed feelings, lack self-assertion manifest various physical ways.
Notes many with body issues also tend to doubt themselves, fear trusting feelings, acting on them, particularly struggle learning, say no.
Lack self-trust, boundary issues really manifest physically.
Yeah.
Lack self-trust, difficulty setting boundaries, contribute various physical imbalances, health challenges. Learning honor own needs, express assertively key well-being.
Gawain suggests real key self-assertion, actually taking action on feelings, intuition.
Even says weight loss sometimes occurs simply doing something feared, expressing suppressed feeling, dissolves energetic blocks, brings body back balance.
Wow.
By addressing underlying emotional patterns, acting alignment feelings, intuition, release energetic blockages, maybe contributing physical imbalances, including weight issues.
It acknowledges initially, self-assertion feels frightening. Takes conscious effort, tune into feelings, risk acting.
Assures becomes easier with practice, skill developed over time. Learning, assert, self-challenging first, but consistent effort, willingness step outside comfort zone becomes more natural, empowering.
Shares powerful client example. Woman, 80 pounds overweight, unsuccessful diets. Healing began expressing suppressed feelings, support group, learning trust self, eat what truly wanted.
Lost 40 pounds a few months. Yeah. Interesting. Then felt strong urge, leave group, still overweight. Gawain encouraged explore remaining waiting feelings about 3 members triggering past painful experiences, self-betrayal.
Worked privately, then expressed feelings group members. Healed old wounds, forgave self, freed energy, continued losing weight without restrictive dieting. Compelling example addressing emotional roots has profound physical effects.
Client's experience powerfully illustrates deep connection, emotional well-being, physical health, particularly weight management, addressing suppressed emotions, learning self-trust far more effective than just focusing external measures like dieting.
Gawain concludes health section. Each time, choose trust, follow intuition, essentially opening inner channel more.
Increases life force flow, helps body cells renew faster, leads feeling more alive physically, emotionally, mentally, allows more spiritual light shine through, keeping body young, healthy, beautiful.
Conversely, choosing not follow intuition closes channel, reduces energy cells, accelerates deterioration, makes life struggle, manifests stress, physical form, ultimately aging, death, if pattern continues.
But good news, changing patterns, learning trust self more, body, incredible capacity, renew, heal. All about aligning with life force.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful summary. Trusting, following intuition, powerful way, enhance vitality, well-being, all levels, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual.
Yeah.
Aligns you with natural flow, life force, supporting body's innate capacity, healing, renewal. Conversely, ignoring inner guidance creates blockages, leads to decline health. Key cultivating self-trust, allowing body thrive.
Now, towards end book, touches relationship with death. Suggests part of us deeply wants to experience life fully, inherently trust intuition guide us.
But often another part fears surrendering that flow, inner conflict, common human experience.
Right.
Internal tension between desire, growth, aliveness, and fear unknown, need control, indeed fundamental human condition. Learning, navigate inner dynamic, key living more fulfilling life.
Proposes going against natural life force within leads effort, struggle. Actually surrendering flow, life brings passion, aliveness, ease.
Resistance creates hardship, acceptance, trust, foster grace, flow.
Mm-hmm.
Aligning with natural flow life, surrendering wisdom universe, leads more effortless, joyful experience. Resisting flow often creates unnecessary struggle, tension.
Gawain offers thought-provoking idea about death, suggests every instance, natural, accident, disaster, involves conscious, unconscious choice by individual soul leave physical body.
Believes soul ultimately charge own journey, knows what doing. Very spiritual perspective, end life.
Yeah.
Spiritual perspective, death scene transition, chosen soul own evolutionary journey. View suggests deeper level intention, purpose, even seemingly tragic events.
Ultimately concludes by following life force more fully, consistently, actually lead healthier, more vital bodies throughout lives.
Instead, becoming less energetic, vibrant as age, potential become more so. Even suggests may eventually reach point no longer leave bodies unconsciously through accidentalness, but consciously choose when time transitions something else.
Death, when occurs, not tragedy, but conscious, peaceful transition. Hopeful, empowering vision, and physical lives.
By living greater alignment, life force, trusting intuition, indeed experience increasing vitality, well-being throughout lives. Gawain's vision, conscious transition, and life reflects deep acceptance, connection, larger cycle existence.
Finally, Gawain addresses feeling many have, helpless effect, positive change, world seeming large, messy.
Introduces well-known 100th Monkey story, illustrate power individuals transforming world through consciousness shifts. Reminder, even small individual changes contribute larger collective transformation.
Right.
100th Monkey story offers encouraging perspective how individual consciousness shifts contribute larger collective transformations. Suggests when critical mass embraces new understanding, spreads rapidly.
Because world ultimately our mirrors, she reiterates, as we change in a world, outer world must change, reflect that.
See this play out personal lives. Start trust self more, relationship shift, attract different friends, things use upset, lose emotional charge. Principle extends wider world. Exactly, your individual journey growth, healing, direct impact, collective consciousness, world around you. Focusing on transformation, become agent change, larger world.
Key, she says, not get bogged down blame, guilt about world's problems. We're all co-creating, all doing best can moment.
Instead, adopt positive attitude responsibility. I am willing, learn, trust, follow own inner truth, knowing as I do will release pain, fear within me, thus heal pain, fear in world. Personal responsibility, most powerful way, contribute global healing.
It is.
Focusing own inner work, taking responsibility, own healing, present in most practical, powerful way, contribute positive change world. About addressing root causes within self, not just focusing external symptoms.
Gawain views Earth itself, manifestation, mass consciousness, collective body.
Believes how treat Earth direct mirror, how treat own physical bodies lack respect, pollution, attempts control dominate, planetary health, personal health deeply interconnected.
Right.
State environment, scene reflection, collective consciousness, relationship with own physical bodies. Healing relationship with selves, late healing relationship with planet.
Suggests seeming chaos. Pain world actually viewed giant manifestation, collective, individual healing process.
Challenging but ultimately positive step where recognize power universe at work, appreciate selves as channels world's own healing. Hopeful, perhaps difficult grasp perspective, global challenges.
Yeah.
Viewing global challenges part larger collective healing process offers sense purpose and power see self part that healing. Suggests even difficulties witness part journey towards greater wholeness.
Gawain then directly addresses potential anger from some seeing ideas narcissistic, negating needs, social political action.
Clarifies dealing root problems internally, actually most practical, powerful approach. Argues projecting problems externally while failing recognize own inner power ultimately supports very issues trying fight.
Instead, taking responsibility, own fears, working through them, clears way here universal guidance, which might then lead truly powerful, effective action in world if called due. Inner work, not replacement action, but vital foundation.
Gawain clarifying inner work, not about ignoring external issues, but addressing root causes within selves, which then lead more effective conscious action world. About integrating inner transformation with outer engagement.
For Gawain herself, inner guidance set time writing, directed her effect change primarily through writing, workshops, creativity, simply being authentic self.
However, also shares strong feeling might have more active role politics future. Reminder path contribution evolves over time.
Yeah.
Gawain emphasizes importance following own inner guidance, determining how contribute positive change world. Acknowledging this may manifest different ways, different times, life.
Also shares interesting past insight. Inner guidance suggested television would be savior of world.
Something initially resisted, not big TV watcher, but then recognized extraordinary power TV reached millions instantly. Development this time likely no accident.
Acknowledged largely controlled old world consciousness, but saw occasional flashes of awareness breaking through. Believed eventually new world consciousness significantly penetrate programming.
Envisioned TV major educational tool, real channel conscious, creative new ideas, even imagining soap operas exploring human dramas with attitude learning, growing through life's changes, positively influencing viewers. Optimistic view media's potential good.
Yeah, very optimistic.
Gawain offers thought-provoking perspective, potential mass media be powerful for positive change collective consciousness, even while acknowledging current limitations. Envisions future where media intentionally serve conduit more conscious, transformative messages.
Gawain concludes part 2 with practical 5-step process, personal planetary healing.
Involves affirming connection universe's healing power, noticing social, political, environmental issues triggering strong emotions, asking how external issues might reflect own personal issues, fears, beliefs, patterns, stay open, intuitive info arising, hands-on approach applying principles own life, wider world.
Right.
5-step process offers you concrete framework, actively engaging principles, inner transformation, applying them both personal healing, understanding of contribution to healing world around you.
And finally, shares recurring vision from apartment window. Ancient, decaying city crumbling away.
Replaced beautiful, magical new city shimmering all colors universe. Understands a symbol old consciousness structures within us breaking down, new vibrant reality built inside each of us, gradually manifesting outwardly as release old patterns. Powerful, hopeful image end on. Transformation inside out.
It really is.
Vision beautifully encapsulates core message living in light, profound potential, both personal, planetary transformation, arising from inner awakening, release old limiting structures, conscious embrace more vibrant, interconnected reality.
And with that really inspiring vision, we come to the end of our deep dives into Shakti Gawain's Living in the Light. It's clear she offers a really powerful, comprehensive framework for understanding the deep interconnectedness between our inner and outer worlds, and the truly transformative potential in trusting our intuition, actively integrating spirit and physical existence.
What's particularly insightful for you is how Gawain so skillfully weaves together her own personal experiences, psychological insights, and profound spiritual principles. Offers a really holistic, practical guide for navigating both personal and planetary transformation. Her consistent emphasis on self-awareness, the crucial act of trusting intuition, and the importance of lovingly embracing all aspects of yourself provides a truly empowering path forward for anyone seeking a more fulfilling, meaningful life.
So what does this all mean for you, our listener? Think about which of these principles really resonates most right now at this point in your journey.
Yeah, what stands out?
And maybe consider what's one small, concrete step you could take today, even right now, to integrate that principle more fully into your own life. We really encourage you to explore the recommended resources listed at the end of the book if you'd like to delve even deeper into these ideas. Thanks so much for joining us for this deep dive.